I was served papers in a divorce. What do I do? Well, who served you the paper and when were you served? Let's look at it from the beginning. Cool, calm, and collected. You want to get divorced? Realize that you were having marital difficulties? Well, think about that. Then realize that service is a person other than your spouse handing you the papers. It could be any adult person or it could be a processor, and it can't take place on your day of worship. Was it the other 6 days? Was it one of the other 6 days of the week? And was it a person that's not your spouse? And was it an adult? Well, if that's the case, and it was a non-spouse person that served, not in your day, then you have 20 days to respond. Respond on your own, where you can obtain the services of an attorney and reply, document, and answer. So the question was, I was served papers. Well, what were you served? You served a summons with notice, or were you served a summons and complaint? Summons with notice just requires that you respond one piece of paper. I'm involved in the case, and serve me any complaint in the future. And if you were served with a summons and complaint, you have to reply with an answer. And that's the name of the document, an answer. And then you start. Now, what could also happen is that you call up the other lawyer as a pro se litigant and say, I need some time. I want to hire a lawyer. Please give me some. And you can make that kind of agreement. You could look around for an attorney, or you can get an attorney. That attorney can ask for more time. You can reply on your own. You can reach out to your spouse. Try and resolve the matter on your own. You could speak with your spouse and ask to see a marriage counselor, a member of the clergy, or a family member that can act as a mediator. So you can look to, avoid conflict and resolve the matter between the two of you, perhaps with the use of a third party, or you can get engaged in high conflict. In a divorce, how is debt divided? Well, just like your assets, you have $1 million property, you would sell it. You know what I realized? I answer a question before I answer the question. So I'm answering how to divide debt, and instead I went into how to divide an asset. Give you a little bit about that. If you have an asset of $1 million in stock, you don't have to do too much. You'd sell the stock and transfer the cash. But it's not the only way. If you have 200 shares of a stock, one spouse can leave with 100 shares and the other spouse can leave with 100 shares, like adding up to the 200. That's one way to do it. Another way to do it is one person can receive all 200 shares of stock and the other person can get something else of equal value, sometimes equal or greater value, depending on the reason for that. So I want to leave with the shares of stock and you want to stay with the home. Let's figure that out. Or a person might want to leave with a pension plan, not dividing it at some future point, and you can keep your 401k. But debt, the same way that you would divide an asset, you can divide a debt. So the couple has credit card debt. Well, you can keep the card that was yours and I'll keep the card that was mine. But if there's a difference, you owe $20,000 on your card and I owe 10. Well, what do we do with that other 10? How do we arrive at a solution? Well, we have to divide it. Now, one person can take it on the chin and say, I'll take the debt for a variety of reasons. They had debt, was associated with an asset, and they kept the asset. What do I mean? Well, it's not even an asset, but it's an item. So say I have debt associated with a living room set. Well, I have the living room set. I have the dining room set. I'll keep that item, those several items, and I'll also pay off the debt. Or I have a vehicle and I'll leave with the vehicle and the loan, the car loan. So the short answer is you divide it. You divide the debt and you apportion it between the two of you. And then the more complete answer is you throw the assets and the debt into a pot and you try and coordinate the math of it. I'm going to leave with these assets and this associated debt and or other debt like credit cards. The other person is going to leave with something else. And the idea is to split it evenly. So think about all of those things. And if you need help thinking through various scenarios, please reach out, frankbrunolaw.com.